the status game that people are playing, I'm not playing that game. I'm not trying to play that game. And maybe that's what I meant actually, because I was thinking to myself, I'm not playing that game. They can play that game, but I'm not involved in that game. Or I don't want to be involved in the game. So I know you got a question.
No, it's not even a question, more just a follow-up, because even in the book it goes on to say that everyone's playing the game, even if you're not playing the game.
Welcome to the Fully Booked Podcast. Here I have myself, Mace.
Myself, French.
And myself, Andrew.
And this season, season 23, we're reviewing the book, The Status Game on Human Life and How to Play It by Will Storr. I can preempt what French is going to say. It's been a long time, but we're back, you know. Consistency hasn't been our best kind of achievement this year, but life goes on, you know, and we still come back with the good stuff. So make sure you stay locked in, all right? It's a good one to be reviewing.
You want to add to that, P?
Not really, but I mean, your question was, what was your question? Do you want to fill in the people in regards to how we've been, etc., etc.? Myself, obviously, I've been to Ghana and back. Yeah. Sure, a number of other things have happened as well, but like generally speaking, I like to believe I'm fine. Like things have been good. Intense life has been, but like things are good. And yourself?
Yeah, life is life, but we crack on and we move and keep it positive, man.
Yeah, one foot in front of the other. That's what I was telling myself the other day. That's the one thing I know how to do, is to put one foot in front of the other. So for as long as, well, it doesn't matter how good or bad things are, you know, for as long as I'm consistent with putting one foot in front of the other, I'll be all right.
Yeah, facts.
Same, life in life, and I'm 2 boys up now, you get me? So actually, I don't even know if we recorded this.
Surely you have.
No,
Surely
we have.
Yeah.
We have.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm 2 boys up anyway. Yeah, 2 boys up. Just doing up family life, work life. And just trying to little chips here and there, but just trying to stay above water and keep it moving. You get me? But I'm back where we belong, back where I belong anyway, with the podcast and reviewing, doing what we do best, reviewing the book, breaking it down for you in everyday terminology and everyday terms, and relaying it how it affects our lives and how we see it affecting everyday lives. You get me?
Do you know the one thing I say? Sorry, I don't want to go on a tangent as such or divulgence. All right, is you know, I thought about this after we finished reading what's the previous book we read?
The Money Ladder.
The Money Ladder. So like my review stands in regards to what I said as such. Anyway, I can't remember what I said, but it still stands. But I actually think it had a better effect on me than I gave it credit for. So no, I thought about it a lot, and then even today when I was walking, I thought to myself, do you know what? Like, not if I get the chance, like I was like really wanted to steam in, but like there is a moment in which I can say, do you know what? Actually, give credit where credit is due. Like my thoughts on the book still remain in some respect because have a lot of respect for him, and I feel that I think I did say that I would like to have known maybe a little bit more about him, I think generally speaking, but actually I think consciously I've thought about some of the stuff that was in the book a lot more ever since, and I think a lot of the actions and things I've done since have been quite intentional. I mean, I've been intentional anyway, in terms of like, obviously I meet Lawrence and Oscar like weekly, and I've been doing that for a good year or so, or what have you. I thought you were going to say something funny.
I'm going to leave it still. The audience don't know who Lawrence and Oscar are, just so you know.
Yeah, I know, but I do. I'm not saying these things with the intention of like people knowing these people, or like, you know, just speaking to the people in the room.
Yeah, it's living room.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wear my jacket in the living room like that.
I knew that was going to happen, but anyway.
It's long for me.
Yeah.
Storm is brewing, boy.
So it had a real positive impact. As to some of the things that I've tried to do, etc., etc. I won't be too specific, but it did have a good impact. So like, credit where credit is due.
Yeah,
ultimately
definitely.
That's what it's about as well. Even like just sowing those seeds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'd second that. Because I think I gave it a 3 out of 4. I mean, 3 out of 5. I'll probably give it a 4 out of 5, to be fair. Not to go too much into the previous season, but just to back up what you're saying. I wouldn't say I reviewed it harshly. I definitely gave it a fair review, but maybe could have done it a bit more justice. But we all gave him props and still give him props still to this day. So it wasn't no shade or anything like that. But yeah, big him up, and yeah, that last season was a good season. All right, we're gonna get straight into it, and literally from the jump, I'm gonna read the first line of the book, and we'll go straight into it. And the first line is, "Life is a game. Do you view life as a game or a battle?"
question.
I would like. Sorry, I don't like to take. Sorry, it definitely is a battle at this moment in time. I would definitely say that, but it's not something I like to play with. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit almost like double-edged sword, really. Do you know what I mean? I like to play and have a bit of fun, but I don't like to play with my life as such. But I'm struggling to think of times where I've had a bit of downtime where I can actually just, just chill and not necessarily review, but just, I don't know, like, I don't feel there's. I'm about to get deep here. I don't feel there's no real peace at this moment in time. Do you know what I mean? And so at this moment in time, there is a lot of battles going on, and I don't really foresee that changing anytime soon. But there's a part of me that is actually beginning to feel that I need to make a lot of 180 changes in regards to taking myself to a place where there is a bit of calm. I don't know why I was thinking about some of my travels again. Actually, no, I was scrolling TikTok. I think there's a guy called the Black Traveller or something like that, and
Black Man, a traveller.
yeah, he's travelled all sorts of places. He was talking
I
about.
think I know you're talking about the guy from East London.
I think he's a Londoner.
Okay.
But he was talking about Trinidad and Tobago. But like, I think he just took me to a place where I was just thinking about when there was a bit of calm in my life and stuff like that. And I was reading a bit of the book. So obviously I've been listening to the book, obviously whilst I drive. But actually I was reading a bit and I thought, actually it feels like a nicer read than it does a listen. So it made me like think about my travels and stuff like that. And a lot of my thoughts have been in regards to moving to Ghana and stuff like that. And specifically when I'm talking about moving to Ghana, whether I'm talking to my brother or anyone else, I'm often talking about, actually even people in Ghana, I'm often talking about places outside of Accra. I'm not necessarily trying to be a city boy, and not to say that Accra is not going to be peaceful, but actually I want to be on the coast, like really on the coast. I'm not talking about there's a beach. I want to be on the coast where it's chill, etc., etc. Or I'm thinking about things of, that nature where I don't have a family at this moment in time, but like, regardless of whether I had a family or not, it's just a nicer lifestyle, man. Like, do you know what? I don't want to say her name. There's a girl that was, anyway, just 2 years above us. And like I saw her, I don't know, just say about a year or two ago, what have you. I didn't know she was half Ghanaian, half Ghanaian. And then she was just telling me about her dad, like lives like by the seaside in Ghana, all that type of stuff. And it just really spoke to me, and it made me sit and really think about it as to, that's how I like to live my life, just on the coast, away from any city troubles, any like the hustle and bustle and all that type of stuff. I hope I haven't taken away from what the question was, but like, yeah, it's a bit of a battle, and I'm trying to escape that battle, that hustle and bustle.
What about the game side of it?
The game, I'm very, because I've been reading today. So like, I don't want to be involved, as a reason, I'm not involved in no games, and I take my life, I don't say I take my life very, very seriously, but like, I think you can gamify it in some respect and make the most of it from that, or make the most of it, but the status game that people are playing, I'm not playing that game. I'm not trying to play that game. And maybe that's what I meant actually, because I was thinking to myself, I'm not playing that game. They can play that game, but I'm not involved in that game. Or I don't want to be involved in the game. So I know you got a question.
No, it's not even a question, more just a follow-up, because even in the book it goes on to say that everyone's playing the game, even if you're not playing the game.
Correct.
And I wrote a note from a book that, I think it was the 48 Laws of Power, where, what's his name,
Robert Greene. Yeah,
he speaks about this same sort of thing where even if you're not playing a game, that is playing a game.
True.
So you're as soon as you're born, you enter the game. Like, you don't have a say whether you're in it or not. You can take your sets. You could take yourself out of playing the low level, mid level, high level. There's different levels to the game, but one way or another, you're gonna be playing the game to a degree. Whether it's your interaction with the shopkeeper, whether it's interaction with the person that replaces your tires every time you get your tires done or whatever, whatnot. But there are games that we have on a day-to-day basis.
I think that like...
So, no, but the reason saying is for you to say that, I understand where you're coming from and I get the sentiment.
I know you do, yeah.
But also from a psychological standpoint, you can't really escape the game if you're interacting with other people.
not reading it, but in listening to it, like, and there's something that's really poignant. I'm not too sure it was in the prologue or in the first chapter, where it talks about, or it said, there was a line specifically that if you're not where you are in the game, it kind of just said like there's a lot of pain and it can hurt. And I paused it at that moment. I had to go back like 2-3 times to listen to it again. And I do believe that, because I think we find ourselves reviewing life at certain points. More often than not, Christmas, New Year, birthdays and 40th, all that type of stuff. You start reviewing things as to where you are, etc., and you can be happy or sad, or, you know, anyway, happy or sad as such. And I think I say all that to say that, like, again, I'm quite thankful for some of the experiences I've had in life. And actually, something happened to me the other day. What happened to me the other day? I mentioned someone threw up in my car. And then there's also, I had another experience where I picked up funny enough, someone else, I'll talk to you about it later on anyway, but like someone else who, their sister, I think, went to our school. But this girl was, I don't want to say too much. This girl had a disability, all right? And she was telling me about bits and bobs in regards to her sister and things that kind of went on. And so I don't want to say too much. I'm not going to say too much, but I'm now trying to like cut the story a little bit. And I've lost myself because of that. Sorry, I'm just really great. So I went away from those rides.
So Mace,
no, hold on.
Mace,
don't you dare. I went away.
A few hours later.
I went away from those rides. I won't go to the ride. I went away from those rides being really grateful for where I am. You know, with her story, with the guy throwing up in the car, I thought to myself, do you know what? Yeah, I'm very thankful that I've come out of this situation and I can review it from a completely different lens, irrespective of someone throwing up in my car and it's stinking out the place, etc., etc. I'm grateful for where I am. Do you know what I mean? But I say all that again to say this: from some of my experiences, traveling, etc., etc. Like, I always remember some poignant things, you know, as to like when I was in Nicaragua and we're like kind of like staying in like what might be a tree house, etc., etc. And people were telling me, yo, I got my house, I'm gonna sell it or I'm gonna just rent it out. And I'm living like this in a tree house and I'm calm and I'm comfy. And I didn't have a skewed view, but I did think about it a lot as to, is this the way I would like to live? I'm not too sure. At 30, no. But at 40, I can appreciate a lot of that as to just wanting to be off the grid, which is why I say, like, in regards to Ghana, my thoughts are, yes, I don't mind, or I'm looking at potentially, you know, buying property in Accra or what have you, but actually I'm thinking, how can I get beyond where I just got my coconut trees and mangoes or what have you, and I can wake up and just chop one and, you know what I mean, just relax. I'm not trying to be involved in all the hustle and bustle. I want to leave that to the young ones. I'm not involved in that. I hope that answered the question now. I've taken my time in getting there, but we've got there.
Cool. Mace?
For me, because I've often heard the quote, life's not a game. And then, like, the way I see it is, with a game, you can restart, you can respawn. With life, well, in this particular life that we're living in, obviously I'm not talking from a religious element, just this day to day, you got one chance. So you shouldn't, like, for me, it's not a game. And if I was going to verge on one side, to me, it's a battle. At this present point, it's a battle to get through. To get through, it's a challenge, it's a battle. And you might have your moments which are kind of, for lack of a better term, gamified. Whether that's, you know, how can I put it? Gamified, where almost like your chill out moments, like your kind of relaxation, your kind of let loose moments, whatever it is. But overall, it's definitely, to me, I don't treat life as a game. I understand that with that reference to the first line of the book and the fact the book is about the status game, and we're talking about status, and we'll divulge more in the book, that from that perspective, I see where this is coming from in terms of life being a game, because it kind of breaks down what it means by that, by life being, by this game. And you kind of spoke about it briefly with Pox as well, when you were saying about, you know, you're almost born into a game, you're playing a game without realizing you're playing, and then there's, every time you interact, you're kind of, it's a game. Like the workplace is a game, just everything, the negotiating something's a game. It's, you know what I'm saying? But when I look at life holistically, I'm like, okay, it's one life kind of thing, one day-to-day life. To me, it's like, it's a bit more serious. It's definitely not a game. As I said, with a game, respawn, restart, turn it off, come back to it later. Life is consistent. So that's my answer there.
I think life is a game, but we have daily battles. I think the battle is mental. I don't think it's literal, but when you wake up, you either feed the positive wolf or you feed the negative wolf. That's your battle. You have to go through that. Whereas life being a game, it is a game. Like we play games. When we have fun, it's a game. When we were just talking before with the camera started rolling, we was joking around. We're playing a game. It's not like you could say something to me and vice versa. We don't mean it, but it's a game. We're just joking around. It's a game. Like when it's adult playtime, it's a game. It's playtime. You know what I'm saying? But and even like when you bring it to just a wider scale, it's all perception. Like the world's built on perception. It's a game. This whole thing's phony. It's fake. Like a lot of shit that we see on the cameras and whatnot, on the Instagrams, on all the other social medias, it's a game. Like it's not real. Like people know it's not real, but people still act like it is real. But it's a game at the end of the day. So that's my perspective on it as it stands.
Okay. From the way you've just broken it down, yeah. Okay, from that perspective, I agree with it. With me, just personally myself, me going through my day-to-day, I ain't treating this shit like a game, boy.
Yeah, no, of course, but we know it's not a game, like literally, but there are games within the journey. Like life is a journey, but there are games to be played in it. There's fun to be had. So life it's not always going to feel like a good game. It's going to feel like, damn, this is a shit game. I don't want to be playing this game no more. Like P said, I want to be involved, but there are going to be points where you're like, I want to be fully involved. Like when you go carnival and you're dancing and doing whatever you're doing, that's part of the game to play. Like that's a playful game. You're dancing, you're enjoying yourself. It's a game, so to speak. Like when you're talking to gal and all that, you're playing the game. Yeah, get me. Like it's you're running game. So it is what it is, kind of thing. But we'll dive deep into it as we go along. So everyone alive is playing a game whose hidden rules are built into us, and that silently directs our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. This game is inside us. It is us. We can't help but play, and that's on page 1. And yeah, and I put in the notes that sentiment reminds me of Robert Greene talking about the 48 laws of power, which I already mentioned. So back in the Stone Age, increased status meant greater influence, access to a wider choice of mates, and more security and resources for ourselves and our children. It still does today. So we're programmed to seek connection and rank, to be accepted into groups and win status within them. It's part of our nature. It's the game of human life. This made me think of the Big Brother experiment, you know, back in the day when they had on Channel 4.
Yeah.
So again, going back to the game, it's life being a game, the Big Brother experiment in terms of like where, within the first couple seasons, you saw how people got together and started having hierarchy.
What?
Instantaneously. It was just like, okay, well, she's the mother hen, he's the man of the house. She's playing the child to all the other adults or the other contestants. So we naturally form our own status without even trying. It's just human nature, so to speak. Go on, you're going to say something?
I was going to say, with those kind of shows, what you notice is that it's almost like once you get into the second or third series, because people have watched the ones before, it's almost like they...
Follow?
No, not follow. They're like, in terms of the game playing, it's almost like, what's the best chance of me progressing or coming across?
Strategy.
Right, strategy, yeah.
Perception.
So then they form into those, like, I'm going to be this for this show kind of
Yeah.
thing.
You remember what's his name? The dude Nick, and he got he was the bad guy in it. Whatever his name was. But again, playing up to the role, playing up to that kind of character. He's playing the game. It's all perception. He knows if he gets enough airtime and enough, whether it's good publicity or bad publicity, his name's going to be on people's lips. Yeah. The aim of the game is to win, regardless of, like it said in the first line, we've all got hidden rules built into us. So your own rules and his own rules may be different. Like my kind of morals are going to be different to your morals. So I may think, do you know what? I'm going to snake this brother. Cool. You may say it as, nah, we don't snake where we come from. That's not how we was raised. But we've got different rules. Like, we've got different morals. So how you're viewing, how you play the game and how I play the game is going to be different because we've got different rules and different kind of morals inside us. Do you know what I'm saying? All right, so yeah, it says the question is, what position of role would you say you would fit in, referring to personality types? And I'll list the name of personality types. You got the alpha, confident, outgoing, charismatic leader, enterprising, a macho man but aggressive with it. You got beta, that's friendly, reserved, loyal or collaborative. You got gamma, that's adventurous, eager, aware, empathetic. You got delta, which is resentful, blaming and self-sabotaging. Or sigma, likable and confident but cunning and calculating. And there was another one that I just recently heard about was zeta, but I didn't go into much. I don't know much about it. But from those that I've said, which one would you say you'd fit into?
I'll be honest, I was somewhere between beta and gamma from what you've just described. Definitely between those two. Whereas, and I think the alpha, I've had to play that role before, but it doesn't come natural. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I have, even the other day, what happened was when me and my other half was coming back from the holiday we just went on. Yeah. So the airplane landed and we were kind of towards the back of the plane, like say like 10 rows from the back. And so my other half's got out, she's gone to get the luggage, and the guy behind, like obviously you know how narrow it is in the aisles. On the aisles, right? So the guy behind her, he's obviously already got up and like he's waiting, right? And then he was like to, I'll just go past you. And then she was like, I'm just getting my stuff. And he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go past you. So I've got up and I've just said, you're not going anywhere. Like literally said it. And he goes, no, I said, you're not going anywhere. You're waiting right there until we're done. Like, obviously man was cranky because we'd done a night flight, right? And whatever. But that didn't come natural. But at the same time, I felt it was needed because there's a couple of things. You want to show, obviously, the person you're with, yo, like, I'm
You're
here.
protected.
Yeah, like, I'm doing my job almost. And then on top of that, you don't want, like, you can't, for me, also, there's some old school kind of values. You can't you can't be there and then make your woman have to talk to, do you know what I'm saying?
No, it's true, I know.
Yeah. So then that was it. He didn't go anywhere. He waited for us to get our luggage, and I let someone else out just to almost like dominate the situation.
Just because,
dominate the situation and say, because you've done that.
That's a game, though.
We're not even. I said, I'll make someone else come out as well. You're staying right there until we're done. Simple.
Status game. Let man know I'm the alpha right now.
But that doesn't come natural.
Yeah. No, it's fair enough. But you played the game at the same time.
Yeah.
You had to. You was put in a situation where you had to play that game.
I would say depending on where I am, but like at football, obviously, generally speaking, I would say alpha because I'm very comfortable in that environment. I know what needs to be done as such. But generally speaking, I would say I'm probably. I was actually going to say beta, but probably very similar to yourself. I can probably flit it between beta and is it gamma or gamer?
Yeah, gamma.
Yeah, probably flit between the two. But it's funny because as you were reading them out, it made me sit and think to myself. There was a period of time where people were laughing as to alpha, beta. Oh, he's beta. I don't know if anyone remembers that. Oh, he doesn't really matter anywhere. But people used to laugh and stuff like that. But I don't really. Not that I don't find it funny, but
call you beta.
Not me specifically, but like actually, he's a beta male. You know.
Okay, yeah. But I think that's also lack of understanding.
Yeah.
Because people just think if you're not alpha, then anything below it is not a man, essentially, which is bullshit. But, yeah. Okay. For me, I wouldn't go with. No, I'd say definitely sigma.
Remind me, what was that?
Likeable and confident, but cunning and calculating. I wouldn't say cunning, but I'd use another word for it. But calculating, yeah, maybe more so. But yeah, because I've looked into the sigma, I guess, archetype that pretty much fits me down to a T. In regards to alpha, I can be the alpha if necessary, and I think that's part of what sigma also represents. It's like, can be the alpha, doesn't need to be or doesn't want to be, can almost be like a lone wolf, but can also run with a pack as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I would lean towards. A greater understanding of what helps drive us on our good days and bad must surely be useful. Digging beneath the flattering roles we like to tell ourselves can help us see more clearly and how we can become better, but also how easily we become tempted into delusion and tyranny. By understanding what human life is actually doing when it goes wrong, we can make a better future, increasing fairness, wealth and quality of life for all. And that's on page 3. So we're going to get into a short story. We won't go into it all. I'll just kind of run down the bits and bobs of it. You guys obviously are aware of it. So in short, a guy called Ben Gunn kills a friend at adolescent age. He serves over 39 years in jail. He goes on to study and becomes known as the jailhouse lawyer. He meets a woman in jail, falls in love, and in that life, if life is as we imagine it, this doesn't make sense. It was all there waiting for Ben, freedom, love, and a beautiful cottage in the Cotswolds. And that was because this woman that he fell in love with was basically saying, come and live with me. Let's spend the rest of our lives together. However, no, I think I missed out a bit. So after he's been given this opportunity to be let out of prison, he decides that he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to leave because of his position in jail, because he's so recognized and well sought after. If he leaves jail, then he's not going to get that. He's going to basically have to start from ground zero again.
Yeah, he's going to be a nobody outside the jail.
Yeah,
system.
essentially.
Yeah.
So, what was I? So this was a religious parable, a Hollywood ending, the archetype of a heroic redemption. He had atoned for his sins, and here was his final destination, his glorious reward. But Ben didn't want it. He preferred to stay in prison. Can you sympathise or understand Ben's psychology, and do you think you'd be any different?
I can't comment on whether I'd be any different or not. Although I would like to think I would have. If I've got something to come out to, then I'll be thinking I want to get out, because from memory, he kept. I think, what is it when you come up for appeal or something?
Yeah.
And he kept, just before his appeals,
Yeah,
not appeal, what's it called?
Fight.
Yeah, it's called something.
Parole.
Parole, that's it. Parole hearings, and he'd always do something, which means he wouldn't get released. But I fully understand, because there's so many people you hear that have been conditioned. Like, once you've been in for so long, you're conditioned in that way of thinking, in the programming, because you often have people that, like, they might not. There's different types of people, right? There's people that, like, they actually don't have anything to come out to, so they might have been homeless, poor, and they might be committing crimes to go back in, because they know there's routine, they get meals per day, there's always a social aspect, and they come out and they might be living on the streets, right? Then you got Ben, who's the same, but on the other end of that spectrum, in that he had something to come out to, but he's so institutionalized, and he's someone in that system that people look up to, respect. He has status that he like, if he comes out, he doesn't. He's got this woman that he's by his side, but then people are just gonna walk past him on the street, don't know who he is, and he likes being who he is, right? So it's for me, in Ben's, it's difficult, because, as I said, if I've got something to come out to, I'd like to think I'm definitely want to come out. But at the same time, if you've been in there longer, then you've been out, and you've pretty much grown from a boy to a man. That's all you know, right?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, because he went in there as an adolescent. So that's his life as far as he's concerned. Like, he's someone
all you know.
In this life. He's done 39, you might as well call it 4 decades behind the wall. Like he hasn't, as far as he's concerned, he hasn't missed anything. Like, his life has been raised in jail. So what's he's outside, going out there for? Like, I'm going out to what? You might as well be going to jail, as far as he's concerned, because it might as well be the opposite. For your normal citizen, that sounds crazy, but for someone that's, okay, so you've been out, imagine going jail at 40 and you've got to go serve a 40. You can be like, shit, that's mad. I not to say you can't do it. If you need to sit on your hand, then you sit on your hand, whatever, whatnot. But you don't want to do it. Like, no one's gonna be wanting to go and sit at 40 years old. The same way, if you come out or you're about to come out and you've served 39 years behind the wall, you can be like, there's nothing out there for me. Like, I'm good over here. Like, everything's here, kosher. Obviously, when you get life terms, you get certain privileges, so you're going to be seen as like high rank within this facility. So, yes, it's easy to say from a standpoint of, yeah, there's something for me to look forward to, then I'm going to go and do it. But actually, that's what I said about the psychology, because his brain isn't wired the way ours are wired, being out in the wide world. So it's I think it's a more of a, you've got to think more about his actual individual scenario rather than you're putting yourself in his shoes where we are now in life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 14. Yeah, he doesn't know any. Yeah, I can. There's pockets of things I remember at 14 and 13. The top pockets. I could probably sum it up in a few minutes. You know what I'm saying?
But think how many changes there've been in the last 40 years. Think about technology. Just think about society as a whole. Like, just things that have completely changed.
Yeah.
Then to come out and be like, okay, I can just come out and adapt to it. That is kind of crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? So I do definitely understand why he was making those choices to stay in jail. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I would do the same thing. I don't know what I'd do if I'd been locked up from a child and I'm sitting in for 40 years. I don't know. But I would like to, like yourself, I would like to think that if I've got something to come out to, I would want to grasp it with two hands. But as we know within the story, when he does come out, like he sat in the room and was basically crying himself to sleep in the corner because he couldn't take the fact that he had nothing to grasp to within this new world of his. What about you, P?
I'll say what I was going to say initially. I mean, I understand all of that, by the way. So I definitely, my first thoughts were 100% sympathise with him in terms of where his thoughts are in regards to wanting to stay inside or unsure as to what's outside and not really wanting to change his routine. And even a lot of the things that you mentioned in regards to, you hear about a lot of this in the States specifically as to people intentionally going inside to want to stay inside, etc., etc. I'm sure the same thing happens here as well. I guess maybe from my perspective of having experienced, let's say, the prison system, I'm not talking about me spending time inside, I'm talking about visiting people, nigh on like 10 years, in and out. I just can't stand that place. That's the last place I want to be. So I want to speak from an ignorant standpoint and also from experience. I don't want to be nowhere near that place, bruv. Get me out, first opportunity, honestly. And if I was in his shoes, just knowing myself, not his shoes, but like knowing myself, I just look at things maybe a little bit different. That's what I think anyway, as to, I think from a place of there's so much more to look forward to. Not to say that he's not optimistic, because he was a very clever individual, but just the way I think, I always think of the optimism. So like, I don't want to talk about me so much, but like I spoke about Ghana. I think of a place, oh my God, what? Like there's so much more that can be done, or do you know what I mean? And whereas I try not to think of it from a negative or a limited standpoint. Obviously, I don't know who he is specifically as a person. I know we've drawn as much as we can from the story, but I like to believe I would have looked at it a little bit differently. But 100% totally understand his outlook.
So you think you'd be different if you'd done 40 years? 40
years. I think so. I mean, obviously, there's so many turns. The psychological turns will be mental. Like, you know what I mean? Even from 1 month to 12 months, you know what I mean? It'll be completely different. I'm just speaking from what I know, how I've been throughout my life, actually, just in terms of always being optimistic. Whatever bad situation or battle I've gone through, I always feel there's so much more to look forward to. Even like tomorrow, like there's so much to look forward to. I mean, I'm not really looking, yeah, there is actually so much to look forward to tomorrow, generally speaking. I've got football tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to football. Working a full day, and it's like other bits and pieces as well. The market's been trash since Trump had beef with China, etc., etc. Do you know what I mean? I would love to know how that, pans out tomorrow, etc., etc. So I just generally have always something to look forward to. I'm always optimistic as to what the day will bring, although it will be very long tomorrow. But that's just the way I would think. or that'll be my perspective. But you never know until you're put into someone's shoes and situations. So I don't want to, you know what I mean?
You don't think he was wrong for wanting to stay though?
I thought it was crazy when I was listening. Like, not like, whoa, he's mad, but I just thought, never me. Like, looking for reasons or putting myself in situations to stay inside, absolutely not. That was my thinking at the time. But not to say that I don't understand the psychology behind it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was wrong, but I was definitely thinking like this well, saying it from my perspective, but there's so much out here. Rather than just being locked up and a man telling you what time to go sleep, what time to eat. But some people like that routine, but
yeah. Yeah.
Would you say the same thing if take the scenario out of it being jail and put the scenario as being in the army, for instance, where you're getting shot and your friends are dying, but you've got a high rank, you've got high command, you've got people that listen to you, you've got people that are following your lead, but obviously you run the risk of possibly having a fatality, essentially. Like, would you still have that opinion of that is crazy to leave? Or you would want to get out as soon as possible, as soon as you've got the chance, as soon as you can be discharged?
from the army.
Yeah.
I think Ben's situation is best. So I don't know if I understand the situation.
Okay.
No. I don't know if I've understood the question better. But I mean, the reason I'm saying so is like, I'm closer. So I feel, based on what you said, all right, and based on the stories, I feel I'm closer to death if I'm in the army than I am in Ben's situation, given his whole situation. Sorry. The whole army thing. Immediately when you said army, not that I tensed up, but that was the word I was thinking. Everything sounds intense now. You know what I mean? I'm doing burpees. Obviously, I know I'm a high ranking, but like, it's all intense. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to live my life like that. I've got enough daily battles. I'd rather Ben's situation. I think I'd still want out.
Okay.
I'd still want out.
I'm not trying to get in, let alone get out. I don't want to be in.